Hello everyone, it is Aaron Schechter from 365shaves.com and the Wet Shaver Review. And no, I did not just get much better looking and look like a piece of porcelain. Today I have become a hand model. You will not be seeing my face today, and I think that will please many of you. I am coming to you today to do a review on a razor, actually. This is a little bit new for me. I'm used to doing soap reviews and other reviews of that nature and balms, but I've never done hardware. I've always done software before. So basically, today we're going to be reviewing the How to Grow a Mustache Symmetry razor. Okay, when you receive your How to Grow a Mustache Symmetry razor, it's going to actually come in a box that looks just like this. It's going to have the mustachioed man, as I call him, with the blue face right there. It'll say How to Grow a Mustache, Male Grooming with an Edge, comma, two implied, and Synergy DE Safety Razors, classic style for a classic shave. Okay, so when you get it, you're going to open up your box, and you're going to see it's well packaged. Okay, and your initial impression when you first see it is, okay, you know, and by the way, I've already unwrapped this. I'm unwrapping it again. Is you got some bubble wrap. Okay, it's wrapped in bubble wrap and well protected within the actual box itself. Okay, so actually let me zoom this out to drop more as well, just to give you a little bit better idea. Okay, so upon my first look of this razor, I'm looking at it and I wish I had better lighting. I'm looking at it and I'm saying, oh my god, this thing is like, you know, shiny, like, I mean, blinding shiny. I mean, it's I really, it's like, it's almost glowing shiny. It's to a point literally that it really surpasses even the more major manufacturers like Mercor or you know, Edwin Jagger, and I love those brands too, so please don't misunderstand me, but I think you can even see how it sparkles in the little bit of light I have right here. Now also, on a first impression, I'm looking at it and I'm trying to get it in here, is you can see the laser etched, at least I believe you can see it, the laser etched mustache, handlebar mustache, on the actual head of the razor. Okay, so my first initial appearance is, wow, this is, you know, it's a pretty nice looking razor. It's really cool. And it also, down by the very bottom right here, I'm going to try to bring it in really close, also has the How to Grow a Mustache mustachioed man actually laser etched into the bottom of the handle, above the bottom knurling by the bottom of the handle, okay, or the bottom of the barrel. Okay, so that's my initial impression is, wow, it's really shiny. It's pretty long. It actually fits in my hand, like from literally the base of my hand all the way to my wrist. I know I'm not fitting this in great, and I'm all the way zoomed out, but it's actually 3.7 inches, 3.75 inches long, so 3 3/4 inches long, so it's almost 4 inches in length. So that's my initial impression. Now, there are no imperfections that I have found on this razor. There's no, by the way, this is chrome over brass. That's why it's so shiny. It's not nickel plated or anything like that. It is actually chrome plated, so we're all chromed out here. We got some bling happening with this razor. I don't see any bubbles, any chips, any scratches. I see absolutely nothing with this razor other besides it being very, very nice. The one thing I did notice that it's really aesthetic is that the mustachioed man down here at the end, when the handle's fully tightened, is a little bit offset to the open combs. Okay, I would have liked to have seen it when fully tightened. Maybe that's something that can be looked at with the machining of the razor itself. That once it's fully tightened, that the mustachioed man is actually fully in line with it. I mean, it's almost there, but if I go back like literally eighth of an inch, it's fully aligned. If I fully tighten it to the point where it's tight, it's about an eighth inch past being fully aligned with the comb. So it's really not a straight line. That's my only critique there. Okay, but there's no signs of defect. I will also say this. This is, and I have a lot of razors. I'm a collector. I have almost 200 razors in my collection. This is by far the heaviest knurled razor I have ever seen in my life. It's not painful to hold, but I mean, I really don't think there's any possible potential way that you could ever drop this. Douglas Smythe says that that this is knurled to his specifications. That he is, and if you listen to Mustache and Blade, he openly talks about the fact that he is a shower shaver. That increases your danger factor by like a millionfold because number one, you're usually not dressed when you're in a shower, and the last thing you want to do is drop a sharp object, you know, with exposed parts. So heavy knurling is a big deal if you're a shower shaver. So it's extremely, the grip is extremely, extremely good, okay? Now, your balance on it. I find the balance, you know, usually they say to take it and, you know, hold it and find that balance point where, you know, it's pretty much resting even. And I find it to be a little, the handle's actually pretty heavy on this, okay? That to me, the balance point's right there. So right at this point right here, let me get back in the screen because I'm so concentrating on getting to the balance point that I'm not really in the screen. Right here is the balance point for me, okay? And probably for everyone else, which is nice, which means I put my first finger there, other there, and this is long enough that I can use all three fingers and my pinky at the bottom. So the weight of this handle, because it's definitely heavier, the handle's heavier than the head. It's a very long handle. And the handle helps assist as you're pulling it down your face. The weight of the handle helps with not putting any pressure on the actual, you know, on the head of the razor or on your face, where you're going to increase your risk of cutting yourself or causing irritation. Okay. Now, like I said, the barrel size itself is lengthwise is 3.75 inches in length. Okay, that's your length. I do not know the actual circumference of the barrel, but I would say it's standard, you know, average, I would say to the thickness of maybe, it's, I would say, thinner than an Edwin Jagger DE89. And I would say it's more in line with the classic, like a Gillette Rocket HD or a maybe even a black handled super speed. So it's not thin, it's not thick. It's a nice diameter. It's comfortable. It's very comfortable in hand. So ergonomically, it's very nice. Okay. Now, as far as aggressiveness, let's talk about aggressiveness with this razor. I used it for 4 days in a row. Okay. Now, in 4 days, I ran it through 3 separate blades. I used an Astra SP on its 4th use, so it was a spent blade. It was Astras with me, I could use them, but they do not last forever. So it felt great, actually. It felt like my first use with that Astra, even though it was the 4th use. It felt like my first use. So not a drop of irritation, no weepers, no cuts, no nothing. I used that actually for 2 days. I brought that up to actually 5 uses for the 4th and 5th use. The next day I actually jumped all the way to a med prep, okay? On a recommendation that I use it with a more aggressive razor, because I only found the razor to be, I would say, a medium aggressiveness. It definitely wasn't mild. I would say it was medium with the Astra SP on the 4th and 5th use. Keep that in mind. That's a big thing to keep in mind. So I jump up to a med prep, and this was a whole different animal. This became a beast of a razor. This was like, it wasn't 2011 R41 aggressive, but it was pretty aggressive. I would say that it's a great daily driver for someone who likes a more aggressive feel but doesn't want anything over the top like that R41 or an Atlas H2 open comb, which is the most, pretty much the most aggressive razor you can get, the Atlas H2 razor. It's not like that, but it's Definitely more aggressive than a red tip, but not as aggressive as like a McCord Future set on 4 or like the Atlas H2. Okay. Now, ease of use of this razor. It is a 3-piece design. Okay. So basically the handle on screws, very simple. And then you just separate your pieces. Now I'm going to try to get this up into the screen. Look how nicely that's chromed. Even the inside, the part that you don't even see, there's not one imperfection. There's nothing. This is chromed perfect. Well, it was chromed perfectly until I just dropped it. No, it is. That's actually a proof of the sturdiness too, because I'll even show you. There's nothing that went wrong with that. Not a drop of imperfection on the chroming. If anything, my wife's going to kill me because I just dropped it on her porcelain dish. You have the laser etching on it. It's a 3-piece design, okay? And it's all nice and chromed out for you, okay? So when you're doing it, you take it, you put your blade of choice on, make sure that you take and you place your other part of your 3-piece razor going in the right direction with the combs facing upwards towards you. Lastly, you're just going to take that handle and you're going to screw her on. That's it, and your razor's back together, okay? And I even dropped it and nothing bad happened. Look at that. The world didn't end. Okay? Now, all this being said, I would say this is a great razor, and I'll tell you another reason why I think it's a great razor. It carries a price tag of $29.95. We're talking about a $30 razor that can be versatile, that it's a medium aggressive razor with if you use a mild enough blade, it's very, very, very medium. It's not a mild razor ever, but you will get a medium feel to it if you use a mild blade. Or you could have something that's really not that far off from an R41 if you throw in like a Feather or a Med Prep or a Voskhod or a Sputnik or something that's known to be a sharper blade, okay? Now, I'm also going to bring into screen, I'm going to bring in my scale. I'm actually going to weigh this razor out, okay? Okay, so we're going to weigh it so we can actually get a real, and I'm going to weigh this in grams, okay? At 23 degrees Celsius, which I believe is about 72 degrees. I'm weighing this razor in at 87 grams, and on the website, the actual website for how to grow a mustache, he's saying it's 84 grams. So there might be a variance in the tear of my scale, or it just might be a little bit heavier at 87 grams. I mean, we're talking 3 grams difference. It's not that big of a difference or deviation. So all that being said, this is the How to Grow a Mustache Symmetry Razor by How to Grow a Mustache. I hope I painted a decent picture for everyone of my impression of the How to Grow a Mustache Symmetry Razor. This is my first hardware review ever. I tried not to be long-winded, which I'm notorious for. And I'm going to leave this with a very quick story. I was actually, in preparation for doing this review, I was speaking with Douglas, and I was trying to, because I ask questions about the products. I do buy all the products I use, and I want to know about them, and I want to know, is this chrome, is it nickel, what's the length of it, what was the inspiration for it. And as I'm talking to him, I said, Douglas, can you please make something that absolutely is horrible? Can you make a horrible product, because I actually feel bad saying how much I love every single one of your products. I know that sounds odd for me to say. I feel bad to say that I love a product and that it's great, but he doesn't make anything that's not great. It's really pretty amazing to me that a single guy can make so many good products, from soaps to aftershaves to razors. Douglas, my hat's off to you, brother. I gotta say, once again, you pretty much nailed it. Like I said, besides a little bit of aesthetics with, I'd really like to see maybe that How to Grow the Mustache logo maybe line up a little bit nicer once it's fully closed. The handle length is a little bit long, but if you, like I said, the balance point is great. You could use all, if you're like me, I actually have very broad shoulders, but not very large hands, normal sized hands. You could use the 3 fingers and your pinky to hold the bottom to guide it. It's just a really great, the knurling is brilliant on it. The finish is also literally brilliant on it. It's just a great razor, and it's amazing that a single company makes so many great products. And I'm just, like I told him, I wanted to make a pickle scented soap, because it's just so I could do a review and say, oh, I got a scored out of 2, just because I don't want to be seen as a fanboy of a single manufacturer. It's honestly a great razor. What can I say? I got to call it like I see it. It's just a great razor. So on that note, I'm Aaron from 365shaves.com and the Wet Shaver Review. Thank you for watching this. God bless, and I hope you enjoyed the review. Have a great day, okay? Thanks. Bye-bye.